Hello, hello. I'm Dylan Miles. Welcome back to Off Menu Insights, where I sit down with founders, entrepreneurs, and all different kind of operators to uncover their best practices and the hidden insights you wouldn't get anywhere else. Today's guest is definitely one of those operators. Her name is Doni Jones. She runs Don's Tree Service in the Metro Atlanta area, a company she's been building for 26 years, but in many ways, you're just getting started. Doni, welcome to the show. How are you
Well,
doing?
thank you. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's an honor to be here, and I'm excited about getting a chance to know your audience a little bit and get to know you a little bit better. But just really excited about what you're doing, putting out content that's helping small businesses grow to big businesses and, charting your own path. And I'm really excited about being on that journey with you.
I appreciate that, and thanks for being a part of it. So, going right into it, I think you've definitely told this a version of this before, but I feel like I want the audience to hear it from you. So, take me back to the start. What's the $43 story? What's the origin story of the business and everything else?
Oh my goodness. And you're right. I have told this story a bazillion times, but it's new to you, your audience. But I always call it my $43 in a dream story. And basically what happened was when I started my company, I only had $43 to my name. And just a little backstory to that, I came from the network marketing industry and I used to sell health and nutritional products, which probably kind of hard to tell that I used to do that. But
No,
I
get
used to
out of
sell
it.
health and yeah, I was in network marketing and I actually got with a company that I was really excited about that wanted to change the world and help the environment. But after doing that a little while, I found myself just really not happy. I saw some unethical things going on in the company and I realized that that door was closing and it was a little frustrating for me, a little depressing. And one of the things I like to do when I get depressed is take a drive. And so I was driving out on this long, windy road in Atlanta, right outside of Atlanta, and I just looked over the horizon. I was like, I am not happy right now. And I've dedicated my life to 7 years of doing something that clearly is not going to work. And I just was like, the last time I was really happy was when I was working in the tree care industry with my dad or with my brother. So Atlanta, the city in a forest, I just looked over the horizon. I was like, I'm starting a tree service. And it's funny because we'll have these epiphanies or these ideas. And at the time, I had that epiphany and that idea and got excited about it. But as soon as I got excited, there was this other little voice on my shoulder going, how are you going to start a company with $43? Because that was all I had in my bank account at the time. And I remember coming from the network marketing industry, they said, whatever the mind of man can believe and can conceive and believe it can achieve, straight out of Think and Grow Rich, right? And I said, I start small. I was like, I got to get something. I've got to put my hands on something. So I went to what was known as Kinko's, which is now FedEx office. And I went inside and I told them I wanted to get some business cards. What's funny though, is that the smallest order they had was like $88. And I only had $43. And I think the guy just kind of felt sorry for me and said, you know what, I'll take your $43 and just bring me the money back when the rest back when the cards come in. So that's how I got started with
No,
a
that's very
business card.
kind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, and there's people out there like that. I love to hear that story, and I think it's encapsulates so much of the journey. But now,
Yeah,
fast forward, I mean, been doing it for 26 years. Give people
yeah,
context because there's obviously a lot there, and we could probably talk for hours about everything that happened
yeah.
between then. But, you know, what's the team looking like now? What is the operations? Just kind of paint a little picture
Well,
for
that
people.
that $43 has turned into 43 people now on my team. We did a little bit over 5 million last year. We'll double that this year, basically because we've put some systems in place and really worked hard to put systems in place. Meaning we really try to follow Traction by Gino Wickman. It's a book by Gino Wickman. If you have anybody that's an entrepreneur in your audience, get that book and implement Traction in your business. Absolutely was a game changer for us. And then also, streamlining our processes, learning, go high level, all of that. And then just bringing good people on board and then people that maybe just weren't a great fit, being excited for them, going and finding a career elsewhere. So it has been quite the journey and we're really proud of what we've done and continuing to grow and basically create opportunities for the people in our company. My whole thing is that in order for my dreams to come true, I have to help my people's dreams come true. And so we're a firm believer in taking care of your people. And for a team our size, we need to be doing at least 10 million plus. So it's not just a matter of doing 10 million plus, it's a have to. And I always heard that when something becomes a have to, you'll actually do it. And so we're at that point where we have to double our revenue because it's just where we're at right now as a company. And we're excited about it and excited about the challenges and excited about the opportunities.
No, I love that. And yeah, you beat me right to it. A good book is always can be a portal to a whole nother life. So I love the
Yeah.
suggestion. And building out a team, leading a company, you could have the courage to start it. That comes from within you and probably the
Yeah.
values that you grew up with. But it's different when, okay, now I'm taking care of the lives of 20, 30 plus people in a lot of
Yeah.
ways, the pressure that comes with it. But I would say, what's your approach to leadership in your company? And then
Yeah.
also, as you grow, because I know you're going to hit that number and even more so, what you
Yeah.
look for in people that would want to join this team.
Well, we really do live by our core values, and it took us a while to figure out, well, who are we? One of the big things for us is that we are really not big on drinking and smoking. It's just a no thing for us. And I'm not talking about having a glass of wine or a beer once in a while. That's not what I'm talking about. But the tree care industry is a very dangerous industry and accidents happen. But when you couple that with alcohol or drugs, it's a no go. So for us, we run a really clean company. We're a faith based company. So when we interview people or we talk to people, those are the type of people that we want. We want people that really do want to live a wholesome, clean life, which, if you know anything, or if you ever read or learn anything about the tree care industry, that can be a little bit of a unicorn in and of itself to have a company that's clean. But for us, that's really important, but it also goes back to our core values, which are love, respect, integrity, teamwork, discipline, consistency, and gratitude. And so when we interview people or we talk to people and we want to bring people in on our company, those are the things that we look for. And sometimes, honestly, it's a gut instinct. There have been times that I like barely interviewed somebody, but I just felt like they were the right person and it worked out. And then there's other times I've, thought I was following my gut and it didn't work out, but also that's when you have to learn from your mistakes and go, you know what? I need to have a process in place for bringing in the right people and making sure they're a right fit for the company. And then if they're not a right fit, also being honest with yourself and going, you know what? This isn't going to work out anymore. So that has been a game changer for us, being able to cut loose people that just aren't going to work anymore and being a little bit quicker with that decision and being very protective of the culture that we've created because we really are a very family oriented, very faith oriented company. But we also give a lot of grace, meaning just because you can't necessarily meet those standards yet, we do try to give people the opportunity to meet that standard. But if we see that it's just not going to happen, we're okay saying bye bye. Yeah, bye bye.
That makes sense. No, from the
Yeah,
bottom up, not just, yeah, because at a certain point it gets so big where you can't be everywhere and you don't want to be looking over each other's backs. They should have it within themselves. And you obviously had
yeah,
the training and we're all
yeah.
human at the end of the day too. And I think
That's
you hit a
right.
good point too, because I think there's things that do this, do that if you want to grow, or if you want a better team, or if you want to recruit better, or if you want more business, do these things. But sometimes we don't think about the things that we should not be doing.
Yeah,
So, what
yeah.
are maybe some of the things that you stopped doing? Maybe not you personally, but just as the company, stop doing these things to help you grow. And then what do you think those things are to hit that number like this year?
I think one of the biggest things we did was raise our standards, and one of the things we stopped doing was putting up with inconsistency. Now, the thing is, as a sales team, you can have your sales go up and down, but when it's a consistent up and down, that means there's an internal issue. So we've addressed those issues to where we can start leveling up more consistently so that we can hit those numbers. But also, I think one of the things was we stopped ignoring what we thought were small issues and realizing a small issue can become a big issue and meeting those issues head on. I would say the other big thing that I've done is really trust the leadership in my company. Like we've got incredible, incredible leadership. We're a very leadership focused company. But when we say leadership focused, that doesn't mean that every single member of the team is a leader in the team, but we feel that whatever position you are in the company, what your position is, you're a leader of that position. And so we
Right.
do little things like we have a book club where right now we're reading 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And that's open to the leadership, but it's also open to team members that want to become leaders, quote unquote. So we do things like that, having conversations with people as opposed to immediately going, you're just not doing your job right. Pulling them aside and actually having conversations to see how we can support them with doing better, but also keeping in mind that you have to continue to expect people to meet the standards that they're supposed to be meeting in order to do their job properly. But also having fun. I would say one of the big things for us is fun. Like we took our guys skydiving, we've taken them whitewater rafting, we do picnics, some of our guys have gotten together and started a soccer team. So, we'll go watch them play soccer and just really being engaged and actually caring about your people. If I could say anything about the home services industry, I think what's so great about home services or local services is that the people really care and they're skilled at what they do and they take pride in what they do. But sometimes there needs to be an opportunity to learn and grow, not just at your skill, but as a person. And so we're really into personal development too. So, the Alex Hermosis, the Tony Robbins, the Cody Sanchez, we love watching that content of John Maxwell so that we can help our people become better people also, not just great at their job, but be better people. So yeah, that was a
It
lot.
always
I
like
know.
that? No, no. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's obviously why you have the conviction you have and like the team and the operation and why, you're still in business and doing well and better than you ever have too, it sounds. So has it always been like that though? More about the personal development and just the leadership, all of these things that you just said. Was there
Well, I
certain pivotal moments or how that changed?
well, I think implementing traction is what really helped us realize that we had a gap there that needed to be filled. Meaning, okay, we're coming together as leaders, but there's just some things we don't know. And there's certain systems we didn't understand because we just didn't know. Like I always joke that none of us have ran $100 million company. None of us. But we're going to. So and we have to grow into in order to reach our goals, we have to grow into the person that we need to be to reach our goals. And so that means reading, that means trainings, that means seminars. But I think actually I just forgot what questions you just asked me. So I want to answer the question properly. Repeat your question, please.
No, no, that was really it. I mean, you pretty much answered it with traction. I
I did?
asked
Okay.
what was the pivotal moment because talking about leadership, personal development with the team, and just all of these
The
really
pivotal
great
moment.
values. And I was like, was it always like that? I assumed
No,
it's
it was
nothing's a straight
not.
line, right?
No, 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 no. Definitely not. I mean, there's been times that I literally was like, how are we going to keep going? What is going on? What are we doing? Nothing seems to be working. But I will say, going back to traction, when we started looking at putting processes and procedures in place, I think that was a turning point for us. And it wasn't overnight. I mean, we still have issues with equipment sometimes issues with people, sometimes, a customer issue. You might get, somebody saying they're going to say bad things about you. So that's part of business, but also realizing that that is part of business. Like you're never going to have this straight trajectory to success. But I think the pivotal point to me was when we were going through traction, I realized I needed to let go. And actually, it was some of my people that were like, you got to let go of the reins, Donnie, and realize that I have a great team of people around me, but I'm not allowing them to grow as much as they are, as much as they can, because I'm like holding on for dear life. And you actually grow more when you let go. When you let go and trust your people, especially if you've got good people around you, trust your people to be their best and for them to feel whatever role they have and get better their role. Like you got to trust it that if you have good people,
Mhm.
you got to leave them alone to be able to do what they do. So, yeah, I
Yeah,
think that
that's
was it.
life's ironic, right?
Yeah.
Business and sometimes where we wanna go, it's like, you wanna get more, we'll stop grabbing for it. It's like, to
Yeah.
release, you could actually, yeah, find the freedom.
Yeah.
to grow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. In 3 years from now and looking ahead, I know you gave out some numbers right now, some goals this year, but 3 years from now, what does Don's tree service look like? And then what's not in that picture that's there today?
I think we'll be obviously my big thing is discipline and consistency. I feel like we'll be more consistent. We'll have 20 salespeople. Out of 20 salespeople, we'll probably be doing 25 million, 30 million a year. And we'll have $100 million valuation, which I think we're not, well, we're probably half of that valuation right now because there's a good multiple for tree services right now. Like it is bananas what people are getting for tree services. But of course, we're in a position where we want to create value in the company and have the company have a high valuation, but we do not plan on selling. And right now, private equity is inundating our industry and buying up smaller companies. So our goal is to actually do what those big companies are doing and go out and buy smaller companies, teach them our culture, bring them on board, and hopefully continue to grow our name and show that you can do business in the tree care industry and do it in a clean manner and do it with good people, family values, faith, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it's going to look
it's a
like.
standardized.
Personally, I'll have a farm by then because I love horses. And so I will probably be spending more time on my farm and also opening up opportunities for the people in my company to step into higher roles. So in 3 years, I would think that our leadership will double. And then obviously our team will probably quadruple as far as the company is concerned in order to accommodate the amount of business that we'll do either through acquisition or through just growing internally. So the
Is
next
that
3 years are going to
something?
be busy.
Yeah, I don't doubt it, but I imagine the farm and the horses are keeping you motivated amongst other things,
Yes.
the
Yes.
vision. Hopefully, you're able
Yes.
to still
Yes.
enjoy
Yeah,
yourself now,
I
and it seems
do.
like you have a lot of fun anyways,
I
and
do
like you
have a
said,
lot
with
of
the team.
fun. I do have a lot of fun. And that's the other thing. We want people to have a life. Now, we work hard, we work long hours, we expect people to go hard, we expect them to, grow the company, grow their position, grow as people, do personal development. We expect all of that. But we also, at the same time, which sounds like a contradiction, we want them to have life. We want them to, go to church. We want them to spend time with their kids. We want them to play soccer or whatever activities they enjoy doing, rock climbing, hiking, because we feel like that's also an important part of life. And so, yeah, on Sunday, I'm gonna go see my horses, I'm gonna spend time with my girls. I'm gonna travel. And we hope that our people feel the same way, that they not only have a life in Don's Tree Service, but they have a life outside of Don's Tree Service too. So yeah.
No, giving purpose and to life is important, right? Everyone needs it, so the work
Absolutely.
isn't
Yeah.
just, if they're having fun and you guys are really adding a lot of value and helping out the community, helping out the people's lives there. How
Yeah.
has that looked in practice for you
Mm.
to learn to
Um,
have fun
to
and
learn
just no, I know it sounds funny, but it's hard.
I feel
Like
like always
founders.
huh?
Yeah. No,
What's
go
that?
ahead,
I
go
didn't hear
ahead.
it. No, I didn't hear what you said.
No, I was just saying for a lot of business, founders and entrepreneurs and you're going at it and
Yeah.
especially to get it lifted off the ground for a
Mhm.
while,
Yeah.
you're putting in a lot of time, you're making
Yeah.
sacrifices.
Yeah.
And like you said, you came to a point where your team is even like, "Hey, maybe let go a little
Let
bit
go.
so then
Yeah.
everyone else can grow." And it's actually ironic, but like when you do let go, you're gonna have more time, it's going to grow. So we're going to hit our goals. It's not
Absolutely.
an or situation. So I just know that, you know, you're probably built like that in a way. I feel like
I
as
am. I
an
am.
owner. So that's why I say, learning because it's not
Yeah.
just like, oh, you just woke up one night and just like, all
Yeah.
right, life changed. So
Yeah.
I always think of it as habits and practice. And so
Yeah.
that's more of what I was asking. If there are some things that have helped you keep that practice and keep things in balance because it's always changing. And
Well, I think
I'm not sure what
w
you found to be helpful.
when I had kids, when I got my daughters, I've got 2 beautiful girls, and actually one of my daughters works in the company with me, and my oldest, she's gonna be coming at home and working with us during the summer. But when I had my daughters, one of them was my first daughter was born preemie, and I actually had to lay in the hospital for 35 days to kinda cook her a little bit more, And, I realized the world did not come to an end. Don's Tree Service did not come to an end because I was in a hospital. So I realized a lot of my drive is internal. So a little ADD up there, whatever you want to call it. But I am driven to just go, 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 go. And in a perfect world, I literally could work from sun up to sundown, but I know that that's not balance, and I know that's not necessarily long term the best choice for me. So I do believe play is important. So for me, my horses are important. For me, spending time with friends and family is important. But looking at my average day, I still work more than most people because I love what I do. The people in our company work more than most people because we love what we do. And that's just the culture of our company.
Uh,
And so we've now gotten to the point when we're interviewing people, we tell them up front, this is hard. Because I feel like sometimes in the past we did not make that as clear. Like, hey, a lot is going to be
yeah,
expected of you. You're going to get calls in the evening. You're going to get calls on the weekend. You're going to get calls in the middle of the night. We're in the tree care industry. If we got a question about a client, we're going to call you. And so I feel like we weren't necessarily as transparent with that as we should have been initially. So we tell everybody, anybody coming into this company, listen, we work hard. When we expect you to be there, we expect you to be engaged, and then, but once again, that same flip is we still want you to enjoy your life. So it becomes a situation where, yes, you do have to work to make money, but if you love your work, don't necessarily look at it as there has to be this great separation. Because I think for most of us, especially since most of us are related in some way, shape, or form, like there's a lot of family within our organization. So a lot of times we'll go outside to see the trucks and the guys are out there playing and tussling and having a good time and, sharing lunches and breakfast and, having coffee together and tussling a little bit. So we've created that kind of environment to where like you feel like you don't necessarily need a vacation from work, but yes, vacations are important. So, but yeah. Yeah, so you're right. I do feel like I think after listening to myself, yes, I am wired that way, but I do believe you do have to have time to just, you know, settle in for a little bit.
yeah, yeah. I'm someone at least it needs to be in the calendar or at least some sort of structure in place because
Yeah.
I know I'm so very human and like we could kind of go back to old habits or
Yeah.
just get caught in the flow of whatever season of life we're in or season of the
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that's a great point on the hiring end. And I think just to like double click on that too, it's more it sounds like a fit question where it's like we allowed maybe some people who weren't exactly fits, and that's like accountability. And I hear we didn't say the word you didn't say the word accountability, but I hear it in many different times. So leadership in all of the team, even people like this is your task or this is your role. You're a leader in that. To me, that sounds like you're accountable for this. And so you treat
Yeah.
it with pride. And then it starts when people join the company in a lot of ways. And that's what
Yes.
it sounds like
Absolutely.
you've learned in that way. And
Absolutely.
in return, purpose and community and camaraderie and being able to have pride in what you do is super fulfilling. So I imagine it's not just like, hey, you're just gonna work a lot and you'll get some money for it, but so much more than that.
That's right. That's right. I think it's important to have fun. I think it's important to enjoy your life. And I feel like if more people chose to enjoy their life and chose to have fun, their life would be more fulfilling. Like you don't have to be in the perfect place. Heck, I'm not in the perfect place. We've got stuff that we're dealing with. We still got issues we got to take care of. There's problems that pop up every day. I have to take care of those problems. Even if they're hard problems, I've got to figure out a way to take care of them. Even if I can't take care of them today and I have to put them off till tomorrow, or put them off till next week or whatever, depending on what's going on, I still have to choose to be happy. And I do believe that that is a choice. And if you choose to do something, choose to enjoy doing it, even in the ugly parts, even in the parts that are tough. And that doesn't mean that I walk around with a smile on my face. Heck, I get a little angsty inside sometimes, but I don't stay there. I don't live there. And I think that's part of personal growth, going back to what you were asking. But I also think the personal growth comes from the fact that I was in network marketing and they introduced us to a lot of self-help books, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn's, Brian Tracy's, those type of things. Watching that type of content, helped me look at life a little bit different and made me realize that I am the captain, of my life. And I have to steer this ship, but also have to determine what type of attitude I'm gonna have while steering the ship. And I choose joy, and I think that hopefully comes through to my people. I hope it does. And just being very committed to that, very, very committed to that, and creating a great culture, where people can thrive. So, yeah.
That's incredible. And I feel like on that note, what is the legacy? So I know, it sounds like growth mode. You have so many
Hmm.
things, personal growth. I mean, this obviously fills your cup in many ways, and it's a
Yeah.
family business in many ways. So it's not like it's
Yeah.
going anywhere
Yeah.
soon. But what is that legacy you want to leave? It could be a lot of the values that you're talking
Yeah.
about, or bigger goal there at the
Yeah.
end, past the three
Well,
years.
I think my legacy would be able creating a clean company where people could grow, and that understanding that wealth is a good thing, but you can also be kind and be wealthy. You don't have to be mean to make money. You can be kind, love your life, and be wealthy at the same time. And I think that gets lost in our society. I also want to help people of color understand that capitalism is a good thing. I think that gets lost sometimes in my community because we listen to, one side a little bit more than the other side. And not that the other side has more of the answers, because they don't. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I do think if you just kind of stand in the middle and go, wait a minute, there's good on both sides. And there's a lot of great opportunities in this country, and I have to do the work to make it happen. My mom used to say, and I've heard other people say, if it is to be, it is up to me. And to truly believe, especially with AI, social media, YouTube, there's nothing holding you back but yourself. Like right now, even thinking about the challenges that I'm dealing with right now today, there's something that I can do or should have done to make things better. Does that mean I can fix it right now in this minute? No, but I can take the steps towards making it better and embracing the opportunities that we have. So if you want to talk legacy, I would like to be a person that made a small impact in seeing that capitalism is a good thing. And that you can use capitalism for good, not evil, and that being kind is important. So as my girls were coming up, we used to say, it's great to be beautiful. It's nice to be beautiful. It's great to be smart, but it's more important to be kind. And we live by that motto. So I think that's what I would like to be known for is leaving a legacy of, appreciating capitalism, being family focused, being faith in committed, and being kind.
I couldn't have said it any better. That's a beautiful legacy, and it's
Thank you.
like it's truly genuinely a pleasure to hear that from people like yourself, and I think it gives people an example too, like to be a role model for all types of people, and I think that is, like you said it perfectly, so I won't even try and add anything else to that. Really, it's
Thank
great.
you.
I
Thank
love
you.
that very much.
Yeah, I call it compassionate capitalism. That's what I want to be known for. Compassionate capitalism. Be
Perfect.
kind, be
I
great.
I can abide to that. I could definitely
Yeah.
abide to that, and I've seen
Yes.
more examples, it makes it more real. So I think that's a great place to wrap up. But
Thank
is
you.
there anything else too that I missed? That number one, where can people find you, and where can people, if they're
Yes.
having problems, where
If they're
should
having
they reach
problems
out
with
to
their
you?
trees, obviously, if they're in Atlanta for right now until we go, outside of the state, but if
Mhm.
they're in Atlanta and they have problems with their trees, you can reach us. You can check out our website, www.donstree.com. That's DONSTREE.com. Or you can hit us up on social media, Don's Tree Service of Atlanta. That's Don's Tree Service Atlanta, Don's Tree Service, just Don's Tree Service. You'll be able to find. If you
Look it
Google
up.
it, you'll find us. Look for the red shirts and the white and red trucks. You'll find us. On socials, I'm the Tree Lady on Instagram, so it's the Tree Lady. You'll see my face pop up, and then on Facebook, I'm Doni Jones. But honestly, just if you look up anything in the company, you'll get to me. So just Don's Tree Service, and then we also have the Quine Podcast, but that's a lot. I know they always say whenever you're speaking someplace, just mention one thing because people don't remember everything. But I'm still working on that lesson. Yeah,
Well, there's a lot of good things, and I think anyone who would
yeah.
listen would remember. And um, it's been a wonderful conversation, and I look forward to seeing you hit that goal and seeing the company
Thank
grow.
you.
And everyone should give a follow too, because it's not just about the
Yes,
trees. It's not
please.
just about the trees. it's about so much more and just like the personal
Yes.
growth, accountability, all these great ideas
Yes.
that I think are so great to consume so we
Yeah,
can
well,
get
I
better and
admire
better.
what you're doing. Like I said, we're just now building our podcast, the Klein Podcast. It's literally brand new. So I would love it if people went and subscribed to look for this logo. And when they see it, subscribe. Don't laugh at us. It's still under construction. But we are definitely building that. And we want to do things like what you're doing and interviewing good people out there that are making it a little easier for dreamers to achieve their dreams, and just helping people understand that it's possible. But seriously, if they are in Atlanta and they do need tree service, just look for Don's Tree Service anywhere on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of that, you know.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. And to everyone listening, thank you very much. You can find anything else in the show notes, all the things that were attached here. We have a lot of great insights given today. And for that, I'm very grateful.
Thank you.